think it's up to poor eccentrics to save the book. And speaking of that, I wanted to share a little anecdote that made me worry about the book and tech about 3 years ago. Alan can tell you that I pal around with writers and authors, and not all of whom I can publish. I'll try, but not all of whom I can publish. And if I believe in you and your book and your manuscript is great, I'll sort of agent you for free and try to get you published. So in the case of this friend of mine, is Lon Milo Duquette, he had this book of sort of forbidden esoteric secrets that I thought was really cool and it would be a blockbuster if some publisher would just take it on. So it got rejected. I guess we did try him at Sweeney's. I kept saying, he's great, he has an amazing track, he's brilliant, he's the only expert that knows all of these secrets of magic and masonry. He's one of 3 Gnostic bishops in the world. He's the preeminent expert on his subject, and this is going to be great. Nobody would touch it. So I had an uncle that died and left me a very few $1,000.
He's ashamed of you.
Try this one? Okay. So Uncle Ira left me a few $1,000s, probably thinking I would put it into a house or something like that, but little did he know that I was a poor eccentric. And so I believed so much in this Lon Milo Duquette's book that I said, I'll publish it. And, which is complete insanity. So the manuscript was great. I copy edited myself, found a friend to design it for dirt cheap, hired a designer for the cover, paid for the printing and binding, so we got it out, and it actually blasted through the first printing within 4 months. And then I was thinking, whoa, maybe I'll just do this on my own. And then our distributor, who's in Chicago, had requested a copy of the manuscript to be emailed so they could give it to the head rep so they could understand the material and sell it better. And without asking, they sent to Amazon and other electronic sites a non-encrypted, meaning not rights managed, digital copy of the manuscript. And so, I was all thinking like, yeah, I'm going to make out like a bandit on this. And then the sales went to nothing. And they dropped, and I was harassing the distributor, which is kind of funny, to be on that side of it, and harassing and so it turns out that somebody had gotten it and pirated it, and in like the first week, like 800 copies had been downloaded. At this point, I don't even know how many thousands. But what happened is this author, he wasn't making money, I was losing money, and I was finding out what can happen, with ebooks or people just like downloading for free. And I sort of felt like Lars or whatever his name was from Metallica. I was like, this is effed up. And no matter how many times we said cease and desist, they wouldn't stop. And so I can tell you that my author, we were having to raise money so that he could pay his rent. I never earned back anything, but that was okay. I'm sure another uncle will die at some point. And so there's a real danger. It's and so I worry about the writers. When your books are downloaded and pirated, and Google slurps up the rights. What's going to happen to the writers? So perhaps some of them can speak to that.
Hi. I think squeaking by about sums it up, and as long as we have Daniel selling 100 million copies a year, roughly, I think we're going to be in good shape.
Roughly, yeah.
Roughly. How many millions is it?
Let's just keep it rough, yeah. Round it up to the nearest 100 million, it's definitely up.
There you go. I'm not going to disagree with any of you so far. I think that, I was just thinking, Alan, as you were speaking, that Mein Kampf, Hitler got far with that book, so some books can do harm. I just had that thought to share. And Volman, actually, this is a short book of his. I edited, is it Rising Up, Rising Down? That was about 10 times the length of this one. So, that's something for Muni or Bart.
Yeah, for Bart never comes.
And I think actually this is a good opportunity for the publishing industry, but we have to embrace it. And it's a challenge certainly, but I think publishers are starting to do that, but they do have to do a better job as far as, I'm thinking alone of the Barnes & Noble, they've got this thing called the Nook, and then there's also a company based in the Bay Area. They're putting out a book. It starts to sound a little like a Dr. Seuss story with the Nook and the Book, but the book is a combination of video and story, and they've got dramatizations, video dramatizations to go along with your story. And I just don't see this taking off. And I do have to say that I played with the Kindle. I really didn't like it, but I do have my iPod, and this has made me read more, if anything. And there are stray moments. It can be before dawn, where this thing is lit, and it makes me read more. I've got my Madame Bovary here. It looks great. I'm totally immersed in the story. The Kindle I did not like at all, but this one, I'm fully engaged. I lose the sense that I'm reading on a gizmo, and this stuff's only going to get better. So I think there's some good that can come from it.